all Asuka kept doing was forward forward one into like 50-50. If you just sidewalk right or sidestep right, you literally beat like most of the options that she has to frame trap you, or even like sidestep right duck, because you beat forward forward two, you beat 1+2, you beat down 1+2 because you're ducking, and you also beat Can, which is like all the things you can frame trap with. Like I'm not really good at like helping like in that kind of sense. But the way I'm watching you play Reina, I'm not seeing enough move variety in a sense. Like you're just doing 4-4-2 like a lot all the time, and it's
If I
kind of
can,
annoying.
sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. What's up?
I know another guy was supposed to criticize after you, but I don't have much to
That's okay.
say, so I'll try to be quick.
Take it on.
Heavy on the move variety thing, because one thing I noticed is that like you have the right answer solved the wrong way. Like the Claudio is not like giving you a reason to like, I don't know, respect his fight IQ, so you can just go in with 4-4-2 over and over again. But like the move variety, like there's no
4-4-2.
yeah, but like I'm just saying like in terms of value, like if the person is giving you that much free room to like use that, you can try to fish for a move with more value, like her hell sweep into Heaven's Wrath and like some cheap combos out of that. So it's not like you did anything wrong per se, but you could get like more value out of like similar situations by just broadening your move selection a little more and really punishing the Claudio's movement mistakes or
Moving,
defense
but
mistakes. Not movement
yeah.
mistakes, defensive mistakes. Sorry.
Yeah, okay. All right. Let me go one by one. Pick this annoying character that everyone decided to play, and people just have no taste in character. That's good.
That's the hardest ship in the level, so we're good.
Everyone and their mother has to play Rain. Let me. All right. The main thing I want to get at, and it kind of makes sense based on what you were saying when you came into the chat, is you're not active at all, and your defensive decisions hinder your ability to get out of things because they're not effective decisions either. Right. So I actually go back to the replay because it's actually so easy to do it that way. You kept doing the same answer to certain things, like you don't adapt with the player you're fighting either. So you kept doing like the same answer over and over to the Oscar pressure, which is just down jab, which isn't an effective answer to do constantly. It doesn't do enough damage to warrant that being the only option you ever use. On top of the fact it's an easy option to deal with, right? It's something you could rotate into your pressure, sure, but it's a very easy tool to handle. It's not like a difficult thing to call out. Oscar could have easily stepped you any direction, really. She called you out later in the match with a genuinely good play where she did delay into the safe launcher. Is it safe? I can't remember.
Yeah, it's
into the
nice now.
safe launcher. All right, thank you. The safe launcher to call you out on that habit because she knows you're not gonna be you're not stand blocking, you're not gonna be stepping. So because you're not being active, you are going to lose because that is just Tekken. People have this misconception that you could win by blocking. That is not true. You have to be active. Every option that you do on defense can cause you to lose. Right? You can't just do one thing and expect to win that way unless the opponent is falling for that one thing always. In the same way, the Oscar player takes advantage of the fact that you only respond in one way. So it's either you backdash, you delay your timing by backdashing and not pressing anything, so you have to eat the mix up, or you down jab, which it doesn't matter. Asuka does more damage than you. She will always win out in that situation. Right?
Also, if I can point one thing out real quick, if you're down jumping a lot, Can just kills you.
Exactly. So Asuka has the better options because you're not threatening anything that would make her care about what you're doing to her. And that's a really important thing when dealing with, especially with characters that do a lot of damage. So for instance, this whole situation that you just got smoked in because you had only two options like in your repertoire could have been solved as Julia rightfully said with a sidewalk left or just a side step left. Right? Depending on the timing. I can't miss it.
Sidewalk right beats more options. Side step right duck usually beats everything.
There you go.
What's up, guys?
Hey. What's up, Blue? Anyway.
I'm tired.
Yes. You can literally step or sidewalk depending on what you want to do here. But if you But you could step here, call this out easily. This move has little tracking. It's one of the weaknesses of it. Not to say Oscar can't realign it. For instance, if you did step at the wrong time here, it would realign. But timing wise, easy step, right? Not that this option cannot be beaten. That's just how Tekken is. But you have to actually rotate the options you're doing in the game to take advantage of what the opponent's even doing. You can't just down jab. And this is Oscar plays off of this the whole game. So he does it again, you down jab. Who cares? Right? He doesn't have to care about that damage. That damage is little damage. Back up, boom, heat smash, whatever. You're in neutral, and this is a consequence. You said that you asked Julia how do you approach forward other than with 4-4-2. There's many ways. First of all, you shouldn't be. Let's go a few things here. Oh, hey Dexter. First of all, you shouldn't be standing here like to begin with Reina. Like you don't have to approach all the time with a button. You don't need to be constantly running in with a button. Doing that constantly is a very easy way to be very readable in neutral. And if you're only using one button too, like you're not going to get any reward out of it. It's not a good neutral plan, and you're out of range. So
It's Reina. You can get away with it though.
yeah, but the problem is, look at where he's doing the 4-4-2. Man. Like, well, in this case, he runs into it, but he's from every range. Like, he's not doing it. If you're doing it up close in Reina's optimal range, it's way harder to step. Right? It's way harder to step, way harder to deal with because you can't predict it, and you have to think about other moves. Every time he is at this range, he does refer to it. It's. Hold on, let me answer our call.
You're good. I'm trying to find this button for you, because Reina has a really good button, a really good elbow. I'm trying to find it.
Oh, okay. Right.
I'm just going to practice.
Don't trust I play weird.
You kept getting parried a lot, by Reina's by Asuka's default parry. And you have a really good elbow because it's also safe mid, pretty fast. I just need to fucking find it.
All right, how's up? Now, what was getting at? Yeah, the 4-4-2 thing. So the pressure I'll get to later. Let's just focus on like the actual activities going on in neutral and defense first. So I mean, whatever this happens, what's also important is you only use 4-4-2 for like pressure, really. And Julia mentioned this earlier. Like you only use it in pressure, and also I'll get to that later. That's a small thing. I'll get to that later. You reach out there, it is what it is, because this is not guaranteed. This round starts. Wow. Right. This is a good example of what I mean. Like this did not warrant this at all. This did not warrant this at all. You didn't have to you didn't have to do 4-4-2 here. You could have just walked forward, dashed forward even, and just like done forward for like do your own your own wake up pressure. You don't need to do forward. No, there's no reason for it. Either way, Jabos +1. My Oscar's not blocking for any reason. This is fine. All this is fine. And 2, whatever, +4. Motion. We block the boom. Alright. Same thing. You're only doing 2 options. So Oscar rightfully just takes advantage for the rest of the match. Boom. Block that. You punish. And this is another thing. As it comes up, I'll mention it. Your punishment in these matches really kill you because a lot of the options you do are like not the options. Sorry, the options your opponents are doing have punishes, especially strong punishes, and you're missing at least in the 2 matches, like the 3 matches we watched. You missed almost all of the punishes, or you got like 1-1 punishes, which is a really bad Mishima habit to have. This Oscar should have never gotten this. So like there's no realm where she should have gotten this fight right. And this minus 18. Good. Let's go again. Let's do some Oscar knowledge here as well over here. Alright, this whole situation here, you can step it. Right? Not nothing to be too scared about, but remember, you're not stepping in this match. So this was a threat, a huge threat to you. Gonna step this. I think gonna jab it too, yeah. But I think obviously there's a follow up. This is another thing. Wait here. This is a kind of a not a check, but it's an option. It would have went under your jab if you press. This is launch. Yeah. Mhm. And once again, down jab completely like it doesn't make sense to do this because for instance, I think he literally goes pretty low here immediately. Goes pretty immediately right after. You would have been better off picking one of these options than you would have been down jabbing, or even just reading this option would have had more value because it's not necessarily about risk alone. Like, yes, of course, you're risking something. It's Tekken. You need to make sure that whatever decision you make give accurate reward. If your decisions don't give you strong reward, and no one has a reason to care about your defensive decisions, and that's a really important thing in this game. Right? If you're not getting the max reward or the most reward that you could get possible off of all your defensive options or your reads or stuff like that, then the reads don't matter. I won't care that you block my health if you're not hitting me for 70, 80 damage. The same concept here. Why should you care about this down jab? And for the whole game, this happens a lot in this match. Because you keep doing forward forward 2 and you do nothing else, you get hit by this like a ton. Because she knows you're just going to do forward forward 2 over and over, which is a good read on Asuka's part. Right? I mean, she could have put same thing with you. She could have deal with this in a way more effective and damaging way, but yeah. Just because while we're here, Asuka's parry is beaten by elbows. I actually can't. I need Julia for this. What are the elbows on this character? Actually, I actually don't know.
That's why I said down 2 is really good. Reina's down 2. Or you can hop kick it if you react to it, but down 2 is really good. It's +3 on hit, force crouch. It's also 0 on block, force crouch.
Wonderful.
High 15.
Wonderful. Yeah.
Really good.
Down 2, you read this, or you read it by hop kicking, either or you throw if you expect them to stay longer. There's a lot of options here, right? Or you low. Alright, this could be like size of 4, a health sweep, whatever. Right? All these options are completely fine ways to deal with this. Just the way you deal with it is just not effective. Is either you're using elbows or knees, you're using lows, throws, or you're just being airborne. Those are the options that work in this situation. Right? Because you kept doing the same thing over and over and over, and you're not like playing any neutral to ask her to like move around and say, oh, she's doing this, I don't punish this. You're hit by this, I think, like maybe 5, like at least once per each match.
Very strategic.
Bum, bum. All right, pressure. Rage shot. This is a good block. This is fine. Let's move forward. Dogs barking. This is another thing. Like the punishment is a big issue. You can't be missing punishes like this. I mean, it takes time. I'm not saying it's something and again a day, but this is the kind of things you have to practice. Like you can't just blame the game for that. Bum, bum. Alright, blah, blah, blah. And this is another thing, yeah. Boom, boom. Remember, only 2 options in this situation you're presenting, which is just a delay and down jab. So, but I mean, yeah, that was pretty clear. Alright, this is, I can't remember if you can step this or not. Yeah, you can. Or you could just block. -9 is not a good position to be in this game. So it's a good thing to press. Alright, this situation, which Julia rightfully called out. If you're Leo, you can block under this. But if you're any
For
other
everyone
character,
else, you can wake up, sidestep left.
ooh, can I not mess this up? There you go.
Wake up, sidestep
You didn't
left.
tell me this when we were fighting. You fucking.
I did. I told you this several times.
No,
just
you
didn't
didn't.
listen. I did.
No,
bro.
you did. I
Okay,
don't
okay,
remember
hey,
you telling me.
to my dog's credit. To my dog's credit. This is a, like Asuka 101. To be fair.
Boy, what do you?
This is like this is
the.
the first thing like what the people learn on Asuka. But to be fair, I didn't learn it until like a long time ago too. So I should shut up.
When it's fully charged, I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
fake
it
as fuck.
once again, yeah. Well, you got away because the timing finished, but don't try to play the timing game. Just do options that beat it always. And this is something I was gonna mention. I'll mention now. This is +5. You are not guaranteed a forward 4 after this to be doing this every single time. This is a mix-up, and yes, you have some options that are a little more guaranteed, like a jab or like a down forward one. But even no, actually, I think it's really just jab or things like 10 or 11. You are not guaranteed a down forward one. Those that can get stepped, depending on the character, obviously. And especially, you are not guaranteed this. It's not something you just throw out. Like if you're taking advantage of passive play, sure, but this is not something you just throw out after a heat dash every single time, like how you were doing it in this match. Same thing, by the way. Asuka has more health than you. Who cares to get hit by this? And the pressure is only forward 4-2. Only. Your neutral is only forward 4-2 and your pressure is only forward 4-2. So this is like on 4-4-2 is not that good of a stance. They're gonna make it better in season 2 though, so I mean but not that good of a stance. To just use constantly, always for every single situation. Pum, pum, pum. You can't low parry on wake up, so you gotta block that. Well, okay, while we're here, this whole heat burst, I don't think the replay will let me show this, but you could have stepped this to the right, not the left. Okay. Or you know, yeah, that's pretty much it. Heat usage is wild.
I might have to restart my Discord, but wait.
Just,
I can just hold 2 to break this eventually.
Usual string shenanigans. You know, gotta block this. Right, that's you have to duck. This is how pure knowledge check kind of situation. You just have to go for this duck. That's pretty much it. So
Yeah, if you start ducking 4-4-2-1, she has to do forward 4-2-1+2, which is -13. It's also fuzzy duckable.
I think since there's no way of it,
and this is where we get into other stuff going on, right? So the main issues that you have, which it seems to transfer between other characters too, is one, you're not active. You're not an active player. You don't sidestep. You don't press like buttons that aren't down jab onto the pressure. Even against the Claudio, like you were pressing some, but even against Claudio, you like froze up a lot. It wasn't like you were trying to press or like saying, "Oh, I'm gonna read high crush with a down 4-2. I'm gonna put out. I'm gonna step with Claudio." You're not interacting with the defense or trying to counter it in any way outside of that down jab. So for the conversation with Reina, you're missing a lot of options because you can't just use 4-4-2. Like it's good, but there's 2 issues. I'll go over 4-4-2 stuff and then I'll do like just random like Reina moves. First of all, you are not in the right range for 4-4-2 to be like effective. What's good about 4-4-2 is that once you're in like a range, like I think range 1 to 1.5, you can't react. You can't like react this. It's you have to predict it and time your sidestep or sidewalk to beat it. And because you have to do that, it makes it very easy to realign this move, which makes it very strong in this spacing, right? But you can't be over here. Like once you're over here, it becomes way easier to step. Still have some tracking, don't get me wrong. But keen players, especially when you keep doing it at the same timing, will counter you for it. So you being at this range with Reina is very strong. With 4-4-2, where your other moves alongside 4-4-2 can reach, it becomes very hard to read 4-4-2 because now you start to care about forward 2-3. You have to care about down forward 1s. You have to care about forward 4s because you can easily dash up on forward 4 here. So there's a lot of options that Reina now has that makes 4-4-2 more aggressive as a move, right? Plus, you can't use this for every situation. 4-4-2 is a great move for like his neutral use and stuff like that. But as a pressure tool, it's like, yeah, it's alright kind of thing. And I mean, you're gonna make it better in season 2. And the best arena players can use it by like beating shirts and whatever. But like this move is not that great to be using it this often. You need to look at other pressure situations. Start looking at the jab mind games. Down forward 1. Right? Reina's main mind game. Let's up a list right there. Right? You have jab, you can step here, whatever. Your main jab mind game activities. Right? Reina has a few many great pressure tools. Forward 3 is a pretty good one to start. I mean, it's safe as cancel. It's some good options, not the greatest. Down forward 1, very effective, -3. You have the minus mind games with Reina. You gotta start looking into these buttons. The game is not about being plus. Which is why I told you that that isn't true when you said that. The game is not just about being plus on one. I mean, you're plus on a lot, right? But being plus requires different mind game thoughts than being minus. And it's important that you start looking through this and looking through all the options that people actually have on these tools instead of just using one that has the simplest. Like the choices you have are simple, but the answers people have to your choices on pressure are very effective and not simple. Like not easy to beat. Right? People can deal with Arena 4-4-2 in like a million ways. It's not like heat engager, you get a free mix up. It's not that simple. I know you were just being so. That's why I said I assume you're just being so. Bump. So let's just go over what you probably need is a game plan that yes, 4-4-2 is fine. But as I said, this range way better with 4-4-2, way more effective. Why can't I do 4-4? Jesus. I suck. Ooh, there you go. Way more effective for a 4-4-2 move. Way more options too. You don't always have to go into stance. You can just do 4-4-2 into nothing and get mind games off of that. You don't have to always go into stance. And moving in the right range, whatever. But what you need especially is a game plan for your pressure, right? So you don't just use 4-4-2 for everything. I'm not the best person to tell you that. I can give you basic things for the character, but Reina Pacific stuff, you're gonna have to talk to somebody else. You please probably talk to Mocha is probably the best person you can talk to. But if yeah, right. But when it
Oh
comes
yeah,
to
oh, definitely.
but when it comes definitely to but when it comes to actually playing, I'm not forgetting you, Fade. I just know you don't play Reina anymore. But if you're not if you don't have a game plan for this, your offense becomes easy to read, right? That's all asking to just read your offense. Same with the Claudio. It's like Claudio's up around. You gotta think about these things. Claudio's up around, has more health, whatever. Even if he eats half your 4-4-2s, who cares? You know what I mean? Like I have another round. I know what you do now. Like those are things to consider. You can't just do that all the time. And defensively, you need to be more active. Like simply, like, you had to press. Like literally, this is not like simplified advice. You have to lab these things, obviously, but you have to learn what your options are in certain situations. Sometimes it's okay, it's perfectly fine to press in this game. The game incentivizes you to excel. It's okay to press. It's okay to go for a read on or press on a timing, or you say you're reading the timing. Even if you're like +5, +6, people press on that because they're reading timing, right? Yes, people can frame trap you, but usually you want to force the frame traps out. Right? And force them to not try to take too much dip off the chip, basically, off your chip, I guess. Mm. Similarly with Rena, no sidestepping is a huge like you're not this not like that is a huge weakness to have. You have to step in this game. So many things can be stepped. People say sidestep is bad in this game, which I mean I don't really agree with that much, but it is still regardless of how good or how bad it is, you have to use it because you can step many things in this game and almost always, depending, well, not always, but a lot of the situations in this game, sidestepping is an option, side walking is an option, right? With Reina as well, here, Reina's jab is insane, as Julia said, which can actually save you in a lot of situations because a jab is like saved from some jab shenanigans in certain characters where people can't just crush a jab easily for whatever reason. I don't know. I hope they nerf this in season 2. But yeah. Besides all that good stuff and using stepping and diversifying your pressure, which you have to talk to Mocha about, the most important thing is like mindset. Like you can't think about the game in the way you were thinking about it is like real negative. And I think that's like half the work. I won't lie to you. Like you have to like you deal with that, you take a break and you come back and laugh. The only way you're going to improve is by losing. And as if I mention this quote, Dexy will say he did not say it. So I'll just post it in the
Wait, huh?
hold on, I'll just post it in the chats.
What did I say, huh?
What did you
What
say?
monstrosities are you trying to frame me now?
What monstrosity is that? This is pretty much
All
how it is, right?
right, you gotta like stop doing that.
This is
I
pretty
didn't
much how
say
it
that
is.
shit. Oh,
You did anyway, right, not important. Right?
fucking guy.
Either way, right? Either how you have to get washed to get clean, but you also have to have when you're getting washed, you have to know how to get clean. Like it's not like you just get washed and play again. You have to have directed and like streamline
Right.
what you actually need to work on and improve on. Right? Don't just mindlessly practice shit though. That's like a big thing I find people doing. Anyway, that's pretty much all I got for you. If I was at a TLDR, it's go speak to Mocha about Reina pressure. I mean, certain things are Reina very similar to Leo. I could do it, but I prefer you speak to somebody who's a specialist on characters like Mishima's or and Reina to really get good value out of the situation. But yeah, that's pretty much it. All right. Maybe I was gonna give you like the basic TLDR. Start stepping, start experimenting with steps. Start trying to move around, see what learn the different step ranges, quick step block, full step block, sidewalk. All right. Learn the different types of steps. Start backdashing out of pressure too, which I mean you were doing, but you're only doing one. I don't know
I
how
mean,
you
you can
PPE.
backdash out of pressure. You can backdash out of some pressure. Depends what pressure you're being put up against.
Mm-hmm.
To
It
be
depends
honest.
on the character. But I'm just encouraging the experimentation because the other side experimenting with not just trying to down jab. And also, literally, and as ridiculous as it sounds, experiment with pressing. Just make sure you're pressing something with a purpose. Like, for instance, that's a good example of this. Go to Leo real quick. That's like if, you're playing the game and you're like, damn, Leo does. Let's see. Look at the way to. It's a perfect example that is like really important. Leo does. Let's go. I didn't mean to record one of them. Get hit by some Leo pressure. Leo's doing. Let me just spin this off. Not sure what it is. Leo's doing forward two, down for 2+4. This amazing high crushing counter, whatever. Just say, you could step it. You could step it. You could read it by just blocking. It's a soft read, whatever. But you can't just backdash it. You can't just down jab it. In fact, yeah, you could down jab might work, but you remember the whole thing about damage and reward comes in. So it's okay to just say, Leo's doing this. I'ma just do down forward too. And I get a bunch of damage. What's important about this game is that it's very easy to make comebacks. And it's okay to take risks. This is only -12. You are not dying if Leo says, "Oh, I'm gonna block this move." Right? Or for instance, you may actually die if Leo says, "Oh, I'm gonna step this move." Right? But unfortunately, some things aren't good in this game. But it is what it is. If people step this move, you could die, sure. But that requires a decision from them, which is what you want. That is how defense is meant to be. You force your opponent to make decisions that can be bad for them. And the only way you make that happen is if you force them to realize that any decision they make can be a negative one. In the same sense, this decision you make can be a negative one. Right? Not like you're free from any counter or whatever. Can I have a step on there? I can. You can still be smoked. Not like it's a get out of jail free card. It's just that you have to diversify to actually deal with pressure in a sustainable way. That's pretty much it, yeah.
Synergy is actually so
It's
Oh my
really
God.
funny because as you were describing, like forcing people to make bad decisions, I just did the dumbest fucking vortex in a
Also,
Kazuya mirror.
BGM, I don't see you sidestep 4 ever. That really is a really good move. 0 on hit. On block it's -13, I think.
Bro, Leo is such an ass guy.
-13. It's a good low. That's decent range.
What? Like, bro, look at this
Advancing
madness.
low.
Why am I going?
It's a really good low. Yeah, Cessa 4 is really good. Really good. The only reason it's good is not launch punishable like fucking Hell Sweepers, Lamar. But it's an advancing low, so like it brings you forward. So you can use it to like initiate your stuff if you want, if they're like not pressing keep out buttons. And you can always kind of fake you're gonna do it as well if you're gonna like just random sidestep in neutral, because if you keep doing it and they know that you're doing it, they'll worry about every sidestep being a low. So that can open up to sidesteps 4-4-2 or like sidestep down forward 1 or whatever, or even like that's like electric, whatever you want, really, I guess.
Sorry. Oh, go ahead. Okay. Go
I was
ahead.
just gonna say, the way I pressure a lot is I like try to like annoy them and not let their stuff work. So it's like it's against Asuka or whatever, and she kept doing the same thing over and over again. Whereas she kept doing 4-4-1 over and over again. If you just sidewalk this when if you react to it, whatever, you get like a massive punish and she'll annoy the shit out of her. She won't do it anymore, and then she'll get like more frustrated and might just like do more unsafe stuff like dash up down 1+2 or dash up and try to do the launch between sidewalk or whatever. And also, this shit is so minus, by the way. You can parry it, and like if you parry it, you get like a fucking ass. Oh my god, I'm sorry. I'm dog shit.
People don't block strings. I love this game.
Like you can literally go into Heaven's Wrath, cancel Heaven's Wrath, and Astral Electric, and be fine.
Oh yeah, where's Glue?
You get that long, like you just do that. It's really fucking stupid. Also, off of combos too, if you want to play for like a setup, You can do while staying 4-4 into Heaven's Wrath. You can also, if you skip that, the extra down forward one and do the same thing. Look how close you are. You can do wave like a dash or whatever, like a wave dash or whatever, and do that. A whole suit mix or whatever you want. Especially well if you're in heat, you can do the same thing. Because they have to worry about if you're in heat, you do the same thing.
The bathroom real quick.
Oh, that's fucking shit. But like, if you're in heat already and you get the electric, if you do the same thing, they have to worry about Heaven's Wrath 2, which is a heat dash launcher, or they have to worry about the low heat smash. So you get a pretty strong 50-50 there. And like Lo-Fi said a few times, how jab is really good, so you can just like, dash jab, or dash sidestep, dash block, whatever, dash duck if you're playing against like a Mishima or whatever. Just because I keep out electric, and you can also do your own keep out electric stuff. So if you're like in range 2.5 whatever, the range for your 4-2, you can throw electrics out because I can't. I'm ass. But electric is really hard to whiff punish. It's hard to punish in general because of the fast recovery. You also need to hell sweep more. Don't be afraid to hell sweep. This goes for like every Mishima in general, to be honest. Like, this is your best slow. You have to not be afraid to throw it out like a lot, like over and over again. If they're just stun blocking.
Until Monday. Until Monday.
Oh yeah, until Monday. But just don't be afraid to hell sweep.
What happened?
Hey, you gotta go. Adios. Amigos, amiga.
Oh, he's gotta go. Oh, you're good, bro. It's okay. Yeah, like just don't be afraid to just throw it to just force the 50-50. Okay, so I left. No, you didn't leave. Don't be afraid to force your 50-50, even if it requires you taking some damage. Like if they block your hell sweep, so what? Just do it again. Like who cares?
Do it again.
Yeah, it's okay.
That's
Like
real.
I feel like you just need to take like a more level-headed approach and just look at the game, like unironically look at the screen. People say this all the time. Just look at the screen. What are they doing? How can you beat it? Try options out. Even if you lose rounds for it. Like if you saw that Asuka kept throwing 4-4-2 and you're like, I don't know what this button is. I don't know how to deal with it. You can try sidestepping it. You can try dick jabbing like you did like one time. But in cases like Asuka, just be really careful dick jabbing. Same with June, because if you dick jab, I'll show you what happens if you dick jab.
Until season 2? Are you dead ass?
I am dead ass.
What happened, dog?
If you fucking dick jab,
No, I don't want to learn anything.
Die.
I'm bad at it.
Oh, you're not
dick
learning
jab,
anything with
die.
letting me.
If you're being hit by this, you can also just sidestep the fucking 4-4-1. Or you can also just sidestep left the Kenken. And then if I wasn't ass sidestepping, get your fucking punish. Like that Asuka kept giving you so many opportunities to punish. So many opportunities for you to punish her. And you didn't take him. That's fine if you don't know the matchup, because like nobody does. I just fucking spam wiring 1+2 over and over again, and nobody does anything about it. But yeah, if you have to go, it's okay. Like it's no big deal.
How do I die there?
I'm down to help out most of the time with Reina stuff
Ah!
because I play too much Reina.
Actually died to the easiest part of the level.
Yeah, Julia. Tell